Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. And we are going to continue our look at the exotic Adrian Street. And by now, Adrian Street has made it to Memphis, Tennessee. And Jack, let's pick up on his first couple of matches that he had when he gets to Memphis.
Hold on. I accidentally closed that out. Go ahead and talk for a minute.
Well, Adrian Street, I will tell you this, Adrian Street, one of his first matches was with Bobby Fulton. I bet Bobby Fulton was ecstatic about that when he first seen Adrian Street, because he was a character nonetheless. And that was on November 29th, 1982 at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. What do you think, Rodney, people thought about Adrian Street in Memphis?
He's so unique. You can't help but watch. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And you kind of wonder the relationship between he and Miss Linda, which Miss Linda, whether is not spoken of a lot when we talk about Adrian Street, but Miss Linda was a huge part of his success, especially when it come and I was able to catch some of that video. Miss Linda, I believe in lots of cases, had most of the heat on every single at every place they went. And she was awesome. And if anybody ever grabbed a hold of her fan, they wish they didn't, because she can lay you out.
By the way, Adrian Street was managed by this man right here, James E. Cornette. That was one of the people that Jim Cornette managed at that time. All right, Jack, you ready for the other ones?
I didn't get it. It's not.
Well, okay.
I can do that one. I can do that part.
All right, go ahead.
We got Mid-South Coliseum again on December the 5th, 1982. It's Adrian Street versus Marauder number 2. Who was Marauder number 1?
I have no clue who the Marauders were. Jack, do you remember who these guys were?
I don't know them. Does anybody know? Is any of the insiders? Do you know who the Marauders were?
I don't know who they were.
The Marauders. Well, but this was the second one. Of course, Adrian Street beat him, so who cares? All right, so then we come up to the Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Tennessee on December the 11th, 1982. It's Adrian Street versus Bill Dundee. The winner is unknown. Then we head to the Louisville Gardens, Louisville, Kentucky on December the 14th, 1982. It's Adrian Street defeating Steve Regal. And then a big match with Bill Dundee, Terry Taylor, Apocalypse, and Adrian Street at the Mid-South Coliseum on December the 27th, 1982. And Brent, you got some information on that, right?
Yeah, I got that. By the way, how do you say that guy's name again?
Apocalypse.
That was Mike Boyer, which is also the guy that Michael Hayes patterned himself after, and that was the hippie.
Mike Boyette.
Yeah,
Mike Boyette.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's so.
Well,
I did see clips of this, and you wouldn't tell that was Mike Boyette at all. You would not know it.
By the way, this match is so good. I gotta explain this match. The match is it's a great match. Adrian Street's tremendous in it. The beginning of the match is great. They're really showing who Adrian Street is. They're showing the flamboyance, and Bill Dundee's doing great with them. At the end of the match, Jim Cornette ties Bill Dundee to the ropes, and they're beating on Terry Taylor, Well, finally, Jerry Calhoun, the referee, grabs a hold of each one of them and throws them off, and finally gets to Miss Linda, and he takes her, and he pretty well just slams her down. Well, when he does, Miss Linda just goes off on him and beats him pretty good, and they beat him up really bad. All three of them beat him up pretty good, and that's the reason that it comes back, and it's Bill Dundee, Jerry Calhoun going against Adrian Street, Jim Cornette, and Miss Linda, and I'm gonna tell you again, great match, and they once again beat up
Jerry Calhoun.
Jerry Calhoun once more. They beat him up again in this match. And I'm going to tell you something. Bill Dundee, after that, comes back and beats each one of them and picks up Miss Linda, and slams her. The place goes wild. So she did have a lot of heat during this particular time. Let me share something real quick, and maybe Jack can read this. If can you see that, Jack?
Yeah.
Can you read over that card right there?
Yeah, our main events, 7 big matches. Main event, Southern Heavyweight title, Jacques Rougeau versus Terry Taylor. Southern Tag Team title match, the Fabulous Ones hair versus titles. The Fabulous Ones versus the Sheep Herders. Handicap Lumberjack strap match with Lumberjacks around the ring with straps, you think? Bill Dundee versus Adrian Street and Jim Cornette. Then we have Sweet Brown Sugar versus Bobby Eaton with Jimmy Hart. Then we have Dutch Mantell versus Jesse Barr with Jim Cornette, which is Cornette just everywhere that night. Then we got Rick Morton versus Carl Fergie.
I don't know who that name is.
Kenya
Condori, it seems
Condori, like. Yeah, whatever. And against Bobby Fulton.
I'm going to tell you something. If that was available today, that card right there was available today, I'd buy a ticket. I'd buy a online ticket to watch that. That had to be a tremendous match. Rodney, go ahead and pick up his matches after this.
Jack, you got some surprises in your email too. All right, so we go pick up at the we go back to Mid-South Coliseum on January the 17th, 1983. Bill Dundee and Terry Taylor defeated Adrian Street and Apocalypse. Then we're back at the TV studios in Memphis on January 22nd, 1983. It's Apocalypse and Adrian Street defeating King Cobra and Ira Reese. And then Mid-South Coliseum on January 30th, 1983. Adrian Street defeats Bill Dundee. Loser gets 10 lashes. And boy, I bet you the people were hot on that one. February 6th, 1983. It's the Cook Convention Center, Memphis, Tennessee. Bill Dundee defeated Adrian Street, Jim Cornette, and Miss Linda in a 3-on-1 handicap lumberjack strap match. And that was big, huge. And then back to the Mid-South Coliseum on February 22nd, 1983. Adrian Street, Jesse Barr defeat Stan Lane and Steve Kern to win the AWA Southern Tag Team titles.
I want to tell you, there's a video, and I'm just going to post this video so people can watch it. It's a whole video. It goes through a bunch of stuff, but Jesse Barr and Adrian Street are teaming with each other. Tremendous things on television is done between Stan Lane and Steve Kern. They did the old in the match. The way that they win the titles, Adrian Street and Jesse Barr win the titles, is the referee gets knocked down. He goes and makes the count 1, 2, 3. This has been done in Memphis territory for years. The referee was all droggy and he was all messed up. Well, when he got up, he raised the hand of Adrian Street as the winner. That's who he thought was won the title. So that's how they won the championships. The people live in that studio were hot that happened at the Mid-South Coliseum. And Rodney, you can go ahead and pick up from there.
I got it.
Oh, you got it now. Okay. Yeah.
All right. March 7th, 1983. Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. Stan Lane and Steve Kern, the champions, defeated Adrian Street and Jesse Barr. Then March the 13th, Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis again. Stan Lane and Steve Kern defeated Adrian Street, Jesse Barr, and Jim Cornette, a 3-on-2 handicap match. And then the 21st, Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. Luke Williams, Jonathan Boyd, Jesse Barr, and Adrian Street defeated Steve-O, Dutch Mantell, Stan Lane, and Steve Kern. And then March the 28th at the Mid-South Coliseum back in Memphis one more time, Stan Lane, Steve Kern, Dutch Mantell, and Steve-O defeated Adrian Street, Jesse Barr, Luke Williams, and Jonathan Boyd in a loser leaves town match.
And from there, Adrian Street makes his way to Championship Wrestling from Florida and has some interesting matches with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Before we leave, I want to throw a couple of pictures up here. Here they are right now: Jesse Barr, Jim Cornette, Miss Linda, Adrian Street. And then below there, Andre the Giant going to get Bobby Eaton, I believe. And there's Adrian Street with Steve Kern. This was in the Wrestling Magazine, the Wrestling News Magazine. And I believe I had put this up here twice, but let's see. No, here's a card right here. Louisville Gardens, Tuesday, December 28th, 1982, six-man tag match. Jerry Lawler and the Fabulous Ones against the Sheep Herders and Sabu with Jimmy Hart. Bill Dundee against the Exotic Adrian Street with Jim Cornette. Terry Taylor against, I cannot say that word.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, thank you. Mid-American Heavyweight Title match, Jacques Rougeau. By the way, this is not about Jacques Rougeau, but I think it was the first time he was a bad guy against Sweet Brown Sugar. Bobby Eaton against Bobby Fulton.
And he was very good. I'm here to tell you, Jacques Rougeau was very good at it.
Well, because he was naturally hated by most people. So that's I told him one time we were riding down, we were down in Pensacola. We were down there, and I said, you know what? We need to get you switched the other way. And he said, well, what are you talking about? I said, well, we know you worked in Memphis like that. We could do that here too. And I said, especially with you wanting people going around saying, we want you to cheer Canada, Canada. I said, nobody's cheering Canada, Canada. He said, I bet they will. I said, I bet they won't. And they didn't. Well, we had to tell that story about Jacques Rougeau as we're leaving this thing. But hey, Richard had said Adrian Street had to be tough using that gimmick in the South during that time.
Adrian was just a guy you didn't want to mess with. Period.
That's right. That's right. And to think about, you see the reaction, like I said, of Adrian and Miss Linda. Looks were deceiving, and that's exactly what he did. He deceived people, and did he? And that's exactly what happened to any person jumping in the ring on him. Mistake.
Could do that, no doubt. We will be looking at on the next video on the Exotic Adrian Street. His time in Championship Wrestling from Florida, and we'll talk about him in the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. If you enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page if you haven't already, and go one step further. One step further, hit that notification bell. And we'll see you on the next episode of
Pro Wrestling Inside and Out.
This will be a video. This will be edited out.
We don't edit nothing. Y'all give us money. We need money.
We need a new host. That's what we're needing. All right. We'll see you on the next video right here on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. I almost said Mid-South Wrestling. Huh?